The Ghost of Firebase Echo. The moon hung low over the Afghan desert, casting eerie shadows over Firebase Echo, a desolate outpost near the border of no man's land. The outpost wasn't just a base, it was a lifeline for the villages nearby, keeping them safe from insurgents. But lately, something darker loomed in the night. Sergeant First Class Jackson "Jax" Carter, a seasoned Army Ranger, had seen his share of battles. But tonight felt different. His instincts, honed by years of combat, tingled as the wind whispered through the wires of the perimeter fence. Firebase Echo had been under intermittent attack for weeks. Insurgents would strike under the cover of darkness, testing their defenses. The soldiers nicknamed the unseen enemy the Shadows. But the Shadows didn't fight like a typical enemy. They appeared and vanished like ghosts, leaving only whispers and fear in their wake. Jax and his team, Charlie Squad, were tasked with finding the source of these attacks. They were the best, forged in fire and bonded by trust. Alongside him were Corporal Vasquez, a tech genius, Specialist Decker, a sniper with eagle eyes, and Private First Class Rivers, a rookie with a heart full of fire. The first encounter. As the clock ticked past midnight, the squad moved out. Jax led them into the dunes, every step deliberate, every shadow suspect. Vasquez monitored the thermal imaging, searching for signs of life, while Decker scanned the horizon through her scope. "Eyes up," Jax whispered into his comm. "The shadows play for keeps." The faint sound of static crackled in their earpieces. Then, a chilling sound filled the air, a whistling hum growing louder. Mortar fire. "Down!" Jax roared as the first shell exploded yards away. The squad hit the dirt as chaos erupted. Through the smoke, Jax spotted movement. A figure darted between the rocks. "We've got contact! 10 o'clock!" he barked. Decker zeroed in and fired, her shot precise. The figure dropped, but the shadows didn't retreat. They pressed forward, relentless. Hours later, the firefight subsided. The shadows melted away into the darkness, leaving behind only the echo of their assault. But for Jax, something didn't sit right. These weren't just random attacks. There was a pattern, a method to their madness. A dark revelation. By dawn, the squad regrouped, exhausted but alive. Vasquez studied the equipment they had recovered from the enemy, gear far too advanced for local insurgents. Night vision goggles, encrypted radios, and thermal cloaks. Jax frowned, his mind racing. "This isn't just a fight," Vasquez muttered. "This is a message." The realization hit Jax like a freight train. Someone was funding these shadows, someone with deep pockets and darker intentions. They weren't just testing Firebase Echo. They were preparing for something bigger. Jax reported their findings up the chain of command, but orders came back clear. Hold the line. Reinforcements were weeks away, and Firebase Echo had to stand. The final stand. The squad fortified the base, turning every corner into a potential kill zone. They knew the shadows would strike again, harder than ever. As night fell, Jax addressed his team, his voice steady despite the storm brewing inside him. "This is our line," he said. "If they want it, they'll have to go through us. Remember why we're here: to protect the innocent, to stand for what's right. We're soldiers, and we don't back down." The shadows came just past midnight. Mortars rained down, bullets sliced through the air, and the sky burned with fire. Jax's squad fought like demons, their training and trust in each other the only things keeping them alive. Rivers held the northern flank, his rifle never faltering despite his inexperience. Vasquez coordinated air support, calling in a drone strike that lit up the desert like daylight. Decker's sniper rifle sang a deadly tune, every shot a lifeline for her comrades. And Jax was everywhere, rallying his team, holding the line, and leading the charge. Epilogue. When dawn broke, the shadows were gone, their forces shattered. Firebase Echo stood, battered, but unbroken. Intelligence later confirmed the rogue faction had been dismantled, their funding cut off thanks to the evidence Charlie's squad had recovered. Jax and his team became legends, their story told in mess halls and training grounds across the army. But for them, it wasn't about glory. It was about each other and the mission. They weren't just soldiers. They were guardians, standing tall in the face of the shadows. And as long as men like Jax and his team wore the uniform, the line would hold.